John is there. So we are understanding, and we need to apply these principles in our daily life to become a seeker. So if we become a seeker, half the journey is over. And then the half the journey goes smoothly. So what our master says that we should neither reject nor accept without a proper explanation and understanding of any subject or a topic. So when we reject outrightly, you say that you reject outrightly, is what our master says it is narrow mindedness. You are not interested in learning. And if you accept without a right explanation, that leads to blind faith. And the blind faith will never help you reach uh, to the journey of self-discovery. It is extremely important. That's why I say in my profession, if the teacher says, "Now just follow it, what I say," so better to leave that teacher. But another point here is that we already have a knowledge available. So why I should poke my nose into it? Huh? I should follow the teachings. So when I follow the teachings, all the responsibilities goes to the tradition and all the teachers. So you don't need to have build a ego. No, 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 no. You have to understand this is what I'm saying. Why should I say anything? You see that the teacher experiences the sense of freedom. And all these teachers explain based on the temperament of a individual seeker. That's why I say we have 6,000 years old tradition, 3,000 teachers, 3,000 masters. They are teaching the same principles differently for grasping the subject. The thing I did also discuss that understanding of every topic has been done by great masters differently. That's why we have one fundamental text and many explanations. Where is the exploder, Sam?
I'm back in New York.
You're right in here.
I
Let
moved
us.
into the city yesterday.
So
So,
now see that we have covered almost 7 or 8 topics. The first topic I said, fourth state of the mind or focused state of the mind. So now this focus state of the mind in the journey of meditation is different than we ordinarily talk about. So, in the second topic, we understood become a human being. The moment you become a human being means, do you remember? We have to be a thinker. We have not to apply the intelligence as the animals apply their intelligence by default. They are pre programmed, they don't have a choice. We have a choice. So, the moment you make a choice means what? Focused. So, whether you say focused state of the mind or you make a right choice, look at it. Every topic redirects our intellect and the mind to the same thing to become a seeker. Then we should remove that wrong notion. I am very kind. I am very noble. People cheats me. Why you are so kind? So that the people cheats you. Ask yourself. It needs an explanation. So sometimes we are very kind in order to gain favor. The motivation in the mind is different. So the master says noble and good works alone is not enough to succeed in this journey. Did you understand the fourth topic evolved? evolving, and yet to be evolved. We are constantly evolving. It's a fact. So, what we say, there is a saturation of physical evolution in the human frame, human body. It is the ultimate of the physical evolution that Darwin explained. So, what we are talking of mental evolution, mind carried away by the survival instinct. Do you see that lot of people around us, they are constantly blaming, complaining about everything. You look at the politics, look at the world, huh? Look at the people in the Walmart. So they are living at a very lower level of evolution. You need not to say anything. You say, hmm, hmm. You are right. Because we should not get carried away. Then we have another evolution, like a social human being. We follow the rules, and so the blame complaint goes away. But then there is another level of evolution that now why my mind is constantly subjected to pain, pleasure, likes, dislikes. One day I like honey, and the other day I hate honey. I marry to be happy. I marry to be unhappy. What is this? These are mental temperaments. So can I get rid of it? The moment you get rid of it, you become a seeker. Now that is what I explained. Do you remember the four aids by Sri Aurobindo? Four helpers. Remember the teacher, the text, the zeal or the enthusiasm, and the time. Many people have left it. Let them leave. Don't push them. In our modern day life, we say, are you excited to do meditation? Why should I be excited? So when the excitement goes off, then meditation also goes off. That is not meditation. So the four aids, the time. If you understand the time out of these four aids, keeping the enthusiasm, we will succeed. Another topic that I pick up, moving within and living within. Moving within and living within. That also, why within? How many people are there inside you? Only one. So if your mind and intellect remains focused on one, there is a natural focus. Let us go little deeper today. Let us understand the nature of reality. And we should keep in mind this nature of reality all the time in our day-to-day life. So that nature of reality, we say real self. It is our true nature. And the common word used for real self is Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda. Translated as absolute existence, consciousness, bliss. Can we have little more explanation for that? So that is understood in Eastern wisdom at three levels of reality. So Sat, the word Sat, it comes from the root that sounds like us. And us, that becomes Sat. Sat means being, a state of being. And Sat also means existence. Let us go a little deeper in understanding that being we use in human being. What that means? Human being. Human is material part. Being is the existence. Existence. Now understand what is this being and existence. So, translated as truth, absolute means unchanging aspect. What is unchanging is existence. Oh, I don't understand. So, Master explains I exist. Are you clear? You exist. You are clear. Home exists. Car exists. See that? Car exists. Phone exists. I exist. You exist. Home exists. Car exists. But who makes all of them to exist? Who makes all of them to exist? My master used to explain beautifully in different ways. Who makes all of them to exist? It is the existence. It is the first word, Sat. So it means I exist because of existence. I exist because of existence. You want to go a little deeper? Car is. Brandy is. Christina is. Jerry is. What is this is? Is existence. Take another example. This existence cannot neither be created nor destroyed. Take this remote. Remote is, it means it exists because of the existence. So when I say existence can neither be created nor destroyed, crush this, break this, still the broken part exists. Why it exists? Because of existence. Crush it into the powder. So the powder exists. That is what we say, the existence is neither created nor destroyed. It is. It changes the name in the form. In this birth, maybe I am a beard guy. In the next birth, who knows, I become beautiful like the women here. I see them. So is remains. Do you see that is remains? And that is the existence. Meditation is the discovery of that existence. That is the first thing to understand. We exist because of existence, and that existence is known as the state of being. And that is why we say human being. Now see that. Go a little deeper. Like water reveals waves, wave exists, water is. Clear? Wave exists because of water which is in existence. You can cite many examples. Being is universal, transcendental. That is why we say it is transcendental. That is our nature, the first part. First part. This is known in our tradition, we say it is Paramarthik Satya, Paramarthik reality, the absolute reality. Absolute reality. See that? I need to simply become aware. I exist because of existence. You exist because of the same existence. Existence is only one, that is known as the being. That is one part of the real self. We will take up other part in the next session, because our topic is there are three levels of reality. Another reality that we say it is pratibhasika reality. Pratibhasika means reflected reality, like wave. I see the wave, it means it is real. But that level of reality is constantly changing. It is reflected. Same way, We all are the reflected replica of the same existence. Existence is one. Huh? I, you, all are different levels of reality, and that reality is known as reflected, reflected image, a mental image or a representation, a look, an appearance. It is also known as illusion because we both are essentially one reality, but still I see two. So it is the second reality, but it is reflected in the mind. Science even says eyes look at any image reflected back, and then that is what we see. So the mind perceives this reflected image. That means what? One water becomes millions of waves, one existence appears as many, many, many millions of people. We are essentially one. Pratibhasik reality. This is the reality that exists for a very short duration. You can say literally 100 years, 110 years, 15 years. The existence continues. It is neither created nor destroyed. It remains as it is. So if I identify myself with that existence, I am that existence. Where is the problem of fear of death and birth? Fear of birth and death comes with the body, comes with an idea in the mind. So that is the second. When we keep our focus on the existence in what we discussed just now, what happens? Now there is another reality. First thing, that I see the reflected image. Second level, which do not last for long because it is constantly changing. Because of this reflected reality, the transactional reality comes. What is transactional reality? I'm giving a lesson. I'm a teacher, you are a student. Transactional reality. What is transactional reality? In day-to-day life, we live our life. Here is your home, here is my home, here I am, there you are. So it comes from the reflected reality. It does not come from the absolute reality. Three levels of reality. First is absolute reality, second is reflected, and third is the transactional reality. Okay, let us join at 8 for a meditation. It's all a transactional reality, if you understand. Huh? Pick up this. The moment you are interacting with your thought, speech, and action is not real you. And it is based on the reflected reality that you are David, I'm Girish, why we are meeting, for what purpose. So when we have a thought, speech, and action, all our transactions takes place in the material world. So we always keep in the mind. You can also understand in a different way. So once you are clear about being, existence, so there are two parts in us, being and becoming. Being never changes. Being is existence. It is absolute reality. It is one. Because of that existence, we all exist. Because of the earth, we all exist. So it is not difficult to understand. Because of the one existence, we all exist. But we exist because of existence. That is being. That never changes. That is of the nature of permanent peace, happiness, love, wisdom, at the core, at the center. And what is becoming? Any change. Change in the body, mind, intellect. Huh? And that leads to transactional reality. So can we say that we are made up of two things, changing aspect, unchanging aspect? Unchanging aspect is absolute reality. The goal of meditation is to discover that absolute reality, and then you start living from that real self. So what happens when you start living with the real self? Real self is of the nature of peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. So it bypasses the intellect and the mind. Mind says, you hate me, I hate you. You like me, I don't like you. But the real self says everything is good. Real self gives the attributes to the mind, and that is the path. That is what is known as awakening. That is what is known as awakening. How come I live in the transactional reality, applied life? Because sense organs gives me the knowledge. But these sense organs have a limitations and they cannot discover the real self. Many reasons. One reason, eyes cannot hear. They have their limitation. The eyes have their own limitation. I cannot see far off objects. Leave aside, I cannot see myself. Material level. So that is why we say we have to transcend the sense organs. Then comes the mind. Mind has also limitations. Mind has its own limitations. So that is why we say Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge. That includes yoga, tantra, kundalini, any. They follow the same principles. The Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge that aims at, that discovers the absolute reality. Look at the sense organ. They are one-sided windows. They only open to the world. They cannot see you inside. The real self is inside. So that absolute reality, which is known as the real self, it is neither reflected nor transactional reality. So when I keep in this mind all the time, allow my intellect to function with reference to the absolute reality. Oh, stress, oh, pertains to the transactional reality. That is not me. You negate it by thinking, and you will see the mind comes down. I negate neighbor's house is not mine. Same way. I remember I converted this principle into 6 neighbors. You are sure that neighbor is not you, not yours? Are you sure? Body is my neighbor. Mind is my neighbor. Intellect is my neighbor. Likes and dislikes are my neighbors. We have. Okay, now you look at it. Think of it. Think of this. One more point you need to think every day in this week. Tell me, clay becomes clay when the clay pot is broken or it remains clay? Water becomes water when the wave merges or it remains water even when it is a wave. How simple it is. So Jerry remains real self whether she is a Jerry or not, David or not, Girish or not. Do you see this point? See that point? You break the clay pot, it is clay. You crush it into the powder, still it is a clay. Storm, tsunami, flood, still it is water. Gold becomes gold when earring, necklace are melt or they remain as a gold. So I remain as a real self. I remain as a real self. Can I identify? When I become stressed, then I become stress. When I'm stressed, then I become stress. But you are absolute reality. Master says, no, 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 you are absolute reality. How can you identify with the stress? It is the property and characteristic of the mind. It is transactional reality. Look at it. Look at it. The way we perceive. So continue to live just recognize in your mind. In your mind, you need to recognize the three levels of the reality and keep reminding your intellect because our mind has forgotten who we are. And once we remember this, we start becoming a seeker, and the seeker always succeeds. Seeker always succeeds in this journey. So